Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed. Please log in to access your profile. Profile reconstruction complete. Please log in to access your profile. Please log in to access your profile reconstruction. Please log in to access your profile. Please log in to profile reconstruction complete. Identification confirmed.
Well, what about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of his family.
Doesn't have one. He was raised on the streets, learned to look out for himself.
He saw his whole unit die on a cruise. He could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
Arcturus Prime relays in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters. Check. Navigation. Check. Internal emission sync engaged. All systems online. Drift. Just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
Can't possibly imagine why.
The captain's waiting for you in the comm room, Commander.
You probably don't want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
I'm telling you, I just saw him. He marched by like he was on a mission.
He's a Spectre. They're always on a mission.
And we're getting dragged. Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust Arturian
Sorry,
guns.
Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down in... But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is
All
holding
we're
on
supposed to do is test out the... Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
What do you know about the stealth
I
system?
just know it the Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. Plus there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the
Do you have a problem with
No,
the
sir. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated... You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's
You don't
treating-
trust Nihilus?
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians...
Nihilus is no ordinary...
You've got that right, Commander. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't... And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action.
I'll see if I can get some answers.
Good luck,
later.
Commander.
I grew up on Eden Prime, Doc. It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
That's crazy. The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good
Sorry,
soldier's
Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people... As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words.
I heard Nihilus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
What do you know about
Only
the
what
Spectre?
I've heard. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically...
Protected at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you,
It's
James?
very peaceful, Commander. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance.
Any idea why Eden Prime was...
Not really sure. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so
Just treat this like every other assignment.
Easy for you to say. You prove this is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead.
Don't worry, sir. I'm not going to screw this up.
The captain's waiting for
Goodbye, Commander. Yes, Commander, is there something you need?
you. The captain's waiting for
Goodbye, Commander.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
What about?
I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. So proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I already figured that out.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't
This
tell
comes
me.
down from the top, Commander. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation.
I thought the Protheans
Their
vanished.
legacy still remains. The mass relays.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made it, but Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
It never hurts to have a few
The
extra
beacon is not the only reason I'm
Nihilus
here.
wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
What's going on, Captain?
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they
Not
accept
many could have survived what you went through on Akuz. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Why would a Turian want to...
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of you. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories.
Their Citadel is the very heart of galactic society. And without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world...
Why is this beacon so
All
important?
advanced galactic civilization is based
If
on...
we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be... That was just a small data cache. What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel spec. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right...
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus...
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden...
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't. Need evac. They came out of nowhere. We need.
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker. Fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secure, Commander.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
Oh God, what happened here?
Ripped right through his shields. Never had a chance.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete.
Aye, aye, sir.
Got some burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you. site.
Thanks for your help. Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, sir?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns. Oh, man. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beach. I don't think any of the others...
Any idea what kind of enemy we're facing?
I think they're Geth.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil.
They must have come for the... The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help.
Aye, aye, sir. It's time for payback.
What else do you know about
Just what I remember. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Tell me everything you know.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be...
What happened to the researchers?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared...
Describe what happened.
We were sent out a couple of nights. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
Have you seen a Turian
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough fire.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
Move out.
The beacon's at the far end of this trench.
man was still alive when they stuck him on the spike.
Killing us isn't enough. This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here
If they were
alive?
lucky. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up. Oh god, they're still alive!
What did the Geth do to them? I'm a little busy here. That door, it's closed. Security lock's engaged.
Humans. Thank the Maker.
Hurry! Close the door before they come back.
Don't worry.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation.
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel, when the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for
No
us
one
to...
is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast.
Agents of the destroyers. Bringers.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went...
Did you notice a Turian?
I saw him. The Prophet. Leader of the enemy.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been
Can you tell me anything about
It's
the
some
beacon?
type of data module from a miraculous new technologies. Groundbreaking.
We have unearthed the heart of evil. Awake.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit...
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards
I gave him
us?
an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Williams, take us to the
You
space.
can't stop it. Nobody can
Hush,
stop
Manuel. Go lie down.
Saren.
Nihilus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
What is that? Off in the distance.
It's a ship. Look at the size of it.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out, we're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
You're okay now. Nobody's
Those
gonna
things
hurt
were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure.
I still can't believe it.
Showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
Tell me everything you remember.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed
They
up.
were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship
You
came
don't
down.
know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting
Do you
chance.
know anything about the
We're
Proteus
just
beacon?
farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us.
What else can you tell me about
I was
the
too
ship?
busy running to get a clear look at it.
Tell them about the noise, Cole.
It was
That
emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only...
It was probably trying to
whatever it
block.
was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me,
Some
Cole?
guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring, nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our
You're
ships.
breaking the law.
We're not hurting anybody. Hell, most of the time I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out
We're
of it.
risking our lives to save this colony.
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in
I
trouble.
have to go.
Good luck. You need something?
I have to go.
Good luck.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Something's moving, over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
What are you doing sneaking around back there?
I'm sorry. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian.
You're saying Nihilus was murdered by a Turian?
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought.
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy's... I knew that beacon was trouble. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
Tell me about the Geth attack.
Quick. They must have been inside that mothership. They shot anything that moved. It was a massacre.
Is there anything else you can tell me?
They brought it here this morning. Hard to believe that was only a few hours ago.
Tell me about this mothership.
I've never seen anything like it before. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up.
You were sleeping?
I
thought you...
Sometimes I need a nap.
You survived because you're lazy?
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really...
We need to find that beacon before
Take the cargo train. I can't stay.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down!
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is
Request
amazing.
immediate
Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up. Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
No, don't touch him! Too dangerous!
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
Dr. Chakwas, I think he's waking up.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
How did I end up here?
About 15 hours.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had
no way to know what
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. The blast knocked you cold. The lieutenant and I carried you back here to the ship.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw...
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going
Glad
to
to
be
hear it. Shepard,
Aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I don't like soldiers dying under my
Jenkins
command.
wasn't your fault.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Gether invaded.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council...
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best. A living legend. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was at?
Just before I lost...
A vision?
I saw synthetics.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we going to tell him? I had a
We
bad
don't know
dream.
what information was stored in that beacon. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politic. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity.
I'll find some way to take
It's
him
not
down.
that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere.
We prove Saren's gone rogue, and the Council will revoke
I'll
the Spectre.
contact the ambassador and see if he can... We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Hey, Commander. I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. I appreciate that.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. If they don't stop him, I will.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not his.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
Who's this Asari consort?
Curious. You have not heard. You must be new to the Citadel. Everyone knows Sha'ira, the consort. I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Where can I find the Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
EarthClan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Din. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, EarthClan?
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for the Volus and the Elcor.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus when I'm not being interrupted.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, EarthClan.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Solarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, EarthClan.
What is it you do here?
I look out for the best interests of the Volus people. No easy task considering how often we are overlooked by the Council.
Chastising rebuke, Din. The Council favors your species greatly.
You are naive. The EarthClan will be invited to the Council long before our species will.
Why aren't the Volus or Elcor part of the Council?
All species must prove themselves before they join the Council. All but the EarthClans, it would seem.
Dismissive. Ignore the Volus ambassador, human. He is incorrect in his assessment.
Really? How long have we been waiting? How long do you think we'll continue to wait? Bah, this talk is wasted on the humans.
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details. We still have no real say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, good.
Strained greeting, human. This is really
You seem distressed.
Alarmed response. You overheard that.
What did this Asari do to get you so upset?
I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Good luck with your problem.
Thanks to you, human. Good day. Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kalen. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, we discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
Why do you bother, Kalen? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Din. You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm. I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
Tell me about the history and origins of the Elcor.
The Elcor were just beginning to explore Council space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Elcor.
Frankly, we Elcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups, though we are always welcoming to outsiders. Our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the Elcor groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke. Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Sincere farewell. Good day to you, human. Enjoy your time on the Citadel.
Big place.
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you are at the Citadel embassies. If you have more questions, please access Avina.
What's that?
Oh, Avina is the virtual guide for the Citadel. Feel free to access the terminal yourself.
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Safiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
Welcome to the... Presidium, allow me to be your guide. Greetings and welcome to the Presidium. My name is Avina, and
So are you a person or a program?
I am a fully interactive virtual... I may also be contacted through any of the Presidium VI terminals.
Give me the tour.
You are standing on the far end of this level. You can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly.
I want to know more.
If you wish to learn more, Executor Palin's office.
Tell me about the embassy.
The most recently added embassy belongs to your own species, humanity.
Why were people trying to keep my species?
Some species felt humanity was given. The Council gave a great deal of thought to this matter. In the end, they decided humanity's impact...
Do you agree with their
I
decision?
am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment.
How come
My
the bolus were the first species given an
In the
embassy?
early years following the formation of the Council, they established many new colonies and trading outposts in recognition of their work to expand interstellar trade and establish a standardized galactic.
Why weren't they made a
The
council?
Council races have extensive responsibilities. It would be unfair to demand such an enormous burden of a species unable to meet these obligations. The embassy.
That's pretty damn arrogant.
I apologize if my personality has offended you. Please submit all formal complaints in writing to the Citadel tour.
Do you know anything about
the term they're in this role, they are granted extraterritorial rights and jurisdiction.
What can you tell me about?
Since then, the 3 council races.
It can't be as simple as that.
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you for using Avina. Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
I can't believe I landed a job here. This place is fantastic.
Human, delighted, welcome. It is good to meet you.
Commander Shepard, I didn't expect to see you here. Did Ambassador Udina send you?
I came on my own. I need information.
You humans are always so curious, always sticking your fingers into someone else's pie. Is that the right expression? Never mind. Forget I asked. Was there something you needed, Commander?
I get the feeling you're not too fond of humans.
No, I just don't trust your kind. Not yet. You humans are eager to take all the power you can get, and you're being given a lot. If the Council wants to make humanity their new favorite pet, that's their business. But I don't have to like it.
What do you know about the Spectres?
They're the right hand of the Council, or so they like to be called. More like the underhanded side of the Council.
What do you have against the Spectres?
I can't abide any organization that considers itself above the law. Especially when it's left up to each individual Spectre to decide when and how to bend the rules.
Tell me about CSEC.
CSEC provides necessary police and security services throughout the Citadel. We're a civilian government agency, though many of our members have had military training. Of course, as the CSEC representative to the Council, I spend most of my time liaising between the two.
Tell me about your investigation into Saren.
Sorry, Commander. I don't make a habit of giving out details about ongoing investigations.
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander.
Don't believe the rumor. What do you want? Oh, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
Relax, Private. This isn't an inspection.
Right, sorry. What can I do for you, Commander?
What can you tell me about the Asari consort?
Well, she's an Asari who works here as... That is, she helps people with things.
You never went to see her, did you, Fredericks?
No, I never did. I couldn't afford it. It costs half a year's credits just to go in and talk to her.
Can you at least tell me where I can find her?
Sure. She's across the bridge from the embassies.
Thanks, kid. Have fun. Try not to get into too much trouble.
I will. Have fun, that is.
don't have time to talk now. I'm very busy.
Hello, Commander. Can I get you something?
You know who I am?
You're a right. There's always some... I could fill you in on some points of interest if you'd like.
What's going on around here?
Well, across the bridge, you'll find the bank. If you need supplies, you can try the markets one level below. For entertainment, I'd try Flux or Cora's Den.
What is Sha'ira's?
The consort? Most of the diplomats and ambassadors. She's a very powerful woman, but also very respected.
Tell me about Flux.
Flux has... Cora's Den, on the other hand, well, let's just say it's livelier.
Goodbye.
So long, Commander. Have a pleasant day.
I've had my office rearranged 5 times now.
5 times? Why?
Welcome. I am Nelina. I don't recognize you as one of our expected clients today. Would you like me to see when the consort will be able to meet with you?
Can't I just go in?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, you must understand there are many who seek the consort services. But if you wish to leave your name, she'll make every effort to meet with you.
What do you do here, Nelina?
I'm one of the consort's acolytes. Many of the people here today will not see the consort, but they expect to be attended to just the same. It's our job to ensure that they leave contented.
What exactly do you attend to?
Well, each acolyte has her unique abilities. Some soothe with song, others with conversation. As much as possible, we seek to match the needs of our clients to the skills of our acolytes. My specialty is touch. My fingertips can find every tension point in your body and relieve it.
I'd like to try out your services.
Excellent. I'll add you to our client list. We should be able to see you in 3 or 4 months.
Nobody's worth that much of a wait.
Well, that's not for me to judge. I have your name and you'll be contacted. Is there anything
What is the
else?
consort? What does she do?
It's difficult. Some seek her for advice. Most of the time, our clients won't realize what they were seeking
You make her sound like some kind of...
No, not in the... I suggest you make an appointment and see for yourself.
I think I'm done here.
Oh, well, I hope you'll return again in the future.
Nelina.
Yes, Sha'ira?
Send the commander up to see me. I wish to speak with him.
Yes, of course, mistress. Huh. It appears the consort has taken notice of you. She'd like to meet with you now.
Where do I go?
Just head upstairs. She'll be waiting.
This is my...
Welcome. It is a pleasure to see you.
I see even the humans find the consort irresistible.
You're with the Alliance? My brother's a private back on Earth.
That is close enough, Commander. I've heard a great many things about you since your arrival here in our Citadel.
What exactly do you do?
That depends on your needs. I offer advice to some, comfort to others. I have a certain problem that could use your expertise.
Maybe I can help.
I have a friend, Septimus, a retired Turian general. I won't discuss the details, but he wanted me to be more than I could be. We had a falling out. Now he spends his days in Cora's den, drinking and spreading lies about me. If you would speak to him as a fellow soldier, I believe he will listen to you and let the matter be.
What happened between you?
I respect his privacy too much to go into the details. If he wishes to tell you what happened, that is his prerogative.
What exactly do you want me to tell him?
Appeal to his sense of honor. Remind him of his position as a general. If you can convince him to stop spreading lies about me, I would be very grateful. Now I must ask you to take your leave. I have... many clients waiting to see me.
I'm a little nervous.
That's understandable. Many are unsure what to expect their first time.
Welcome to the in the aftermath of the Krogan rebellions.
Tell me more about the
over for a full century.
You needed the Krogan to stop.
I am sorry, but that question is beyond.
Why did the council?
Unfortunately, the Krogan refused to negotiate, and only.
What were the
The Krogan then pursued their retreating fleets, able to survive.
Was it really necessary to wipe them?
I am sorry, but a value judgment of that nature goes beyond my program.
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Have a pleasant day.
Ah, human. This one is greatly pleased to see you here.
Who are you?
This one's face name is Delaninder. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
What exactly do you sell?
This one is able to procure almost any item.
Why do you refer to yourself?
For the same reason that humans are. Specifically, Hanar. And we rarely do so with other species.
Who are you?
This. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has.
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be
What's this? One of the Earth... The tale of how you survived the great tragedy on Akuz is truly remarkable.
You've got me at a disadvantage.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as... I'm an expert in how... I also offer premium services for those clients who need someone to conduct business without drawing unwanted...
Sounds pretty shady.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of... For example, suppose a Hanar ambassador was petitioning the council to reduce tariffs on... Even if his true motives were to help his people, You would be accused of...
What's it like living here on the...
From the Presidium to the wards.
What makes the...
But only the most powerful and influential species have ever...
What are the wards like?
You never know what you'll find out in the wards, Commander. It's always...
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Art doesn't normally do much for me, but that relay statue, I like. Look at that bug thing over there. What's it doing?
Welcome. The Keepers are essential to the smooth operation.
Tell me about the relay.
What is, or no one can say for sure. Access to these areas is restricted.
I'd like to hear more.
Typically, only the counselors, ambassadors, and...
What if someone has...
Even then, few are given access to the...
I'm scheduled to have an
Only
audience.
a handful of visitors to the Citadel are ever granted that privilege.
I'd like to know more about the Keepers.
Little is known about these peaceful... Keepers can be seen in all sections of the Citadel, but are typically found
Any particular reason there
The
are so many?
Keepers do not communicate with other species. Many of the station systems... The Keepers also make frequent appearances in the Council Chamber itself, though they appear to be just passing through on
That's
their...
all for now.
Thank you for using Avena. Please do not disturb the Keepers. Please do not disturb the Keepers.
made our reports. Now we just have to trust Ambassador.
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the Council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Come across anything I should know about?
Saren's a Spectre. Most of his activities are classified. I couldn't find anything solid. But I know he's up to something. Like you humans say, I feel it in my gut.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
I bet all these staircases aren't just for show. They make for good defensive positions if this place is ever attacked.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of...
Commander?
No, I just want to ask a couple of questions.
Don't be ridiculous. The Volus won't be joining the Council for years.
I'm not so sure. The humans are making a strong push, and you can bet the Volus will be right.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard. The one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres.
He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
You can't just cut Captain Anderson out of this investigation.
The ambassador's right. I need to step aside.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to
He's
get
just frustrated. They want us to Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner.
Maybe they'd let us join the council if we were more...
Of course they would. If we did everything... I understand their side. They don't want us dominating the council. It's founded on cooperation.
You don't think much
The guy
of
joined roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use.
The guy's a scumbag.
He was one of the first humans. A lot of backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. But it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting...
I thought this embassy was supposed
Harkin
to help.
may be human, but he's also an ass. If the embassy wasn't protecting him, he would have been fired 15 years ago. CSEC is better off without him.
I want to know more...
It's not easy preserving peace across an entire...
How do they decide?
You can't... The count... They see something in you. They want you on their side.
What's their command?
They tend to operate outside the law. Do whatever it takes.
They sound like shadow
Everything but the entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a
What happens when a Spectre goes
It doesn't happen often. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent...
Tell me about
He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Spectres.
Tell me more.
He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's...
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support.
Do you really think we'll find him down here?
He always stops in for a few games of Quasar before he makes his drop.
Fist is gonna be pissed if we take down his supplier.
That's the point. We want him in.
A Solarian excavation team has run into an unexpected problem after unearthing a Prothean dig site. Hanar protesters have blockaded...
That's him.
Those were Saren's men.
Not in the middle of a fight!
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies? Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You'll...
I got business here, but not with you. Commander. What do you want?
What's bothering you, General?
I've seen a lot of horrible things in my days, and there's only one woman in this damn galaxy that helps me forget it.
So if you feel that way, then why spread lies about her?
'Cause she rejected me! Me! Septimus Oraka, General of the Turian Fleet.
Is she really worth it? There must be other women.
It's not just any woman I want. It's her, and her alone. Look, kid, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but don't waste your time.
Enjoy your drink, General.
Yeah, off you go. See you later.
I don't feel right just leaving like this.
Don't waste your time, kid. Run away now, while you still can.
You need to start acting like a general.
I spent all my life... No, those days are over. I'll just be what I am. A tired...
Do you really want to be remembered this
No,
way?
I'd rather not be remembered. So you think it's that easy?
I don't think it can hurt.
Maybe you're right, Commander. Shaira's worth the effort. Even if she won't have me back.
This is no place for someone of your stature.
All right, I'll go to her. After I've had a cold shower, or... Say, you're a bright kid. Would you be interested in earning a few extra...
What do you want me to do?
There's an L-Corps diplomat out there who believes...
Why does he think that?
Because I told him. Look, I just need you to convince him of the truth.
What makes you think he'll believe
You'll
me?
bring him proof. Take this data pad. It shows where I got my info. It will exonerate Shaira and convince the...
Who am I taking it to?
His name is... Well, here's to soldiers acting like soldiers. Thanks, Commander. You know...
Hard to imagine a general like that. Getting so upset about a woman.
That's because you don't...
Back off, Rex. Fist told us to take you down if you showed up. What are you waiting for? I'm standing right here. This is Fist's only chance. If he's smart, he'll take it. He's not coming out, Rex. End of story. This story is just beginning. Out of my way, humans. I have no quarrel with you.
What was that all about?
Who knows? Let's just try not to get caught in the middle.
The back rooms are private, reserved for Fist and his friends.
Who's Fist?
He owns this club, but the customers have to stay on it. Personal matter.
Not real chatty, is he?
Enjoy the club.
Human military.
Not now. Watching the show. Alliance military. I could have been a Marine, you know. Instead, I joined the goddamn Citadel security.
Looking for a C-Sec officer.
Garrus? You must... I know where Garrus is, but you gotta tell me something first.
Is there something I should know about the
captain? Used to be a Spectre. Didn't know that, did you? Screwed up his mission so bad they kicked him out. Of course, he blames Saren.
Why'd they kick him out?
Have to ask him. I never heard any of the details. Bet it's a good story.
You said they covered all this up.
I spent 20 years working cases here on the Citadel. People on this station love to talk. Secrets are like herpes. If you got them...
Just tell me where Garrus...
Garrus was sniffing around Dr. Michelle's office. She runs the med clinic on the other side of the wards. Last I heard, he was going back there.
How well do you...
That's probably why he climbed the Alliance.
The captain's a good
Sure,
sort.
but if he's so great, why'd the Spectres kick him out? Why'd you go ask him about that? Save your...
I'm out of here.
Yeah, good. Go. Let me drink in peace.
Sorry, I'll get to you when I can.
Why didn't Captain Anderson tell us he used to be a Spectre?
Maybe it's not true. Tarkin's an ass. But
Is that really... You're Commander Shepard, the hero of Eden Prime.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Conrad. Conrad Werner. They say you killed more than 100 Geth on Eden Prime.
They say a lot of
Hey,
things.
I know you're probably busy, but do you have time for a quick autograph?
Here you go.
Thanks. I'll let you get back to work. But next time you're on Earth...
Hello, Earth Clan. No doubt you've just come
What
back.
colonies are you talking about?
Farah, but it doesn't matter where you hail from. My goods are available.
What can you tell?
I don't get too many clients from there. They all...
I'd like to know more.
Ah, well, I'm sure he's fine.
Show me what you've got.
I don't think you bought this here. I don't sell this model.
look,
didn't tell anyone, I swear!
That was smart, Doc. Now if Garrus comes around, you stay smart. Keep your mouth shut or we'll... Who are you? Let her go.
Ah!
Clear.
Perfect timing, Shepard. Gave me a clear shot at that bastard.
What were you thinking? You could have hit
There
the
wasn't time to think. I just reacted.
No, I'm okay. Thanks to you. All of you.
I know those men threatened you, but if
They
you
work for Feast. They wanted to shut me up, keep me from telling Garrus about the Quarian.
What Quarian?
A few days ago, a Quarian came by my office. She asked me about the Shadow Broker. She wanted to trade information in exchange.
Where is she now?
I put her in contact with Feast.
Not anymore. Now he works for Saren. And the Shadow Broker
Feast betrayed the Shadow Broker?
That Quarian must have something Saren wants. Something worth crossing the Shadow Broker to get.
What else can you tell me about
I'm not sure. Like I said, she wanted to trade
She
information.
must be able to link Saren to the Geth. There is no way the Council can ignore this.
Time we paid Fist.
This is your show, Shepard. But I want to bring Saren down as much as you
Welcome aboard, Garrus.
You know, we aren't the only ones going after Fist. The Shadow Broker hired a Krogan.
Yeah, we saw him in the bar.
A Krogan.
Last I heard, he was at the CSEC Academy.
What's he doing there?
Fist accused him of making threats. We brought Rex in for a little talk. If you
Move out.
hurry...
I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there.
I'm just glad
Me
you
too.
were. I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander. Nice talking to you. Yes, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
You're a doctor.
I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but...
You're a doc?
I chose to keep the medical tradition...
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander. Nice talking to you.
Don't kid yourself. It's even bigger than it looks.
How would you know?
I got a tour. One of 500 to see the Ascension from the inside out.
Really?
Took almost 6 hours and we only saw 1/10 of the ship.
Commander Shepard, excuse me. I'm Emily Wong. I'm an investigative journalist working here on the Citadel.
What do you need?
I've been hunting for evidence of... I was hoping you might share anything you find during your own investigation. I can make it worth your time.
How do you know that my investigation
You wouldn't be investigating if it weren't big. And if it's big, it's something I'd like to hear
You've
about.
got to have access to better
I'm using
sources.
every source. According to your file, if anyone can find the worst elements of the Citadel and live to tell about it...
How do you know I'm investigating anything here?
I'm a good journalist, Commander Shepard. Word gets around.
No promises. But if I find
Thank you, Commander. You won't regret it.
Strained greeting, human.
I know who revealed your secret. It was a Turian.
Unbelieving. I know this Septimus, and he could
Here,
not.
there should be proof enough for you.
Confused. This is difficult to fathom. If the Turian could learn this on his
Septimus
own,
is a powerful man, but it wasn't easy.
Startled realization. Anxious request. Please, human, if you
I'm
will
sure she'll forgive you. It was an
Doubtful. Thankful. That was a great...
I'm sure the Earth Clan stands to profit from this in some way.
That's right. It was a long time ago, though. I barely remember.
What drew you back to the Citadel and to the console?
I don't know exactly. It may sound strange, but I simply don't recall.
Commander, I recently received a lovely note from Septimus. Thank you for speaking with him. Even the Alcor diplomat has withdrawn his campaign against me.
It was my honor to aid you.
You are too kind, Commander, but I would not expect you to help me out of the kindness of your heart. I also have one more thing to give you, if you are interested.
I'd be honored.
I offer a gift of words, an affirmation of who you are and who you will become. I see your skin, tough as the scales on any Turian, unyielding, a wall between you and everyone else, but it protects you, makes you strong. That strength is what kept you alive when everyone around you was dying. You alone survived. You will continue to survive. This may be who you are, but it is not who you will become. It only forms the basis for your future greatness. Remember these words when doubt descends, Commander.
You have quite a gift, Shaira.
Thank you. Not everyone appreciates it as you do. Never underestimate the power of words. Here, Commander. In light of your efforts with the Alcor ambassador, I would like you to have this small trinket.
What is it?
A small mystery. I've never learned its use or purpose, but I sense it is time for me to pass it on. And now I must ask you to leave. I have done everything I can for you. Remember my words, Commander Shepard. They will give you strength.
Is there anything I can do for you today, Commander?
I've heard you work for the Shadow Broker.
You're very blunt, Shepard. But you're right. I am an agent for the Shadow Broker. And I do know some.
I hear your information.
Normally, this information would cost a small fortune.
What's the catch?
There is no catch. The Shadow Broker is quite upset with Saren right now. They used to do a lot of business.
Saren's turned on a lot.
I don't know the details, but the Shadow Broker hired a freelancer to deal with it.
I think I know it.
Yes, I believe he's the one. I heard he was paying a visit to Citadel Security.
Isn't it strange that a Krogan...
Very. However, I doubt the visit was entirely his choice. You'll need to speak with him if you want to know more.
Thanks for the info.
My pleasure, Commander.
Sorry, I'm kind of busy right now. So, what can I do for you?
What were you discussing with the Volas?
Who, Doran? Oh, sorry. I don't want to bore you with my problems.
I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, okay. The problem is, she's working as an informant for CSAC. If they find out what she's doing, they'll kill her.
Being an informant is a dangerous
That's what I've been telling her. I don't know. Sometimes I think she stays there just to spite me.
You know who her contact
No.
is?
Last time I asked an officer, he told me to stay out of it, for Jenna's safety.
Maybe I could help her understand.
Would you? That'd be... Well, I should get back to work before I get in trouble. Thanks.
I'm waiting for someone else.
Somebody rigged this machine to funnel credits through the system. Let me trace a signal.
Hey, good to see another human in here.
Looks like it's shut down.
Fist knows we're coming.
Locked and loaded.
Stop right there. Don't come any closer.
Warehouse workers. All the real guards must be dead.
Stay back, or we'll shoot.
This would be a good time to find somewhere else to work.
Yeah, right. That's a good idea. Yeah, I never liked Fist anyway.
I would have never thought of that.
Shooting people isn't always the answer.
Why do I have to do this? Time to die.
Here it comes.
Wait! Don't kill me, I surrender!
Where's the Quarian?
She's not here. I don't know where she is. That's the truth.
He's lying.
You better start explaining before I lose my temper.
The Quarian isn't here. Said she'd only deal with the Shadow Broker himself.
Impossible. The Shadow Broker only works through his agents.
Nobody meets the Shadow Broker. Ever. Even I don't know his true identity. But she didn't know that. I told her I'd set a meeting up. But when she shows up, it'll be Saren's men waiting for her.
Give me the location. Now.
Here on the wards, the back alley by the markets. She's supposed to meet them right now. You can make it if you hurry.
Am I supposed to just forget your part in all this?
Hey, I came clean. I told you about the meeting. Besides, I've got my own problems now. The Shadow Broker wants me dead. I have to disappear. Forget about me. I'm a ghost.
You're not my concern.
Don't worry, you'll never see me again.
I'm on top! All patched up.
Perimeter secured.
Did you bring it?
Where's the Shadow Broker? Where's Fist?
They'll be here. Where's the evidence?
No way. The deal's off. Set me up. I knew I couldn't trust him.
Were you hurt in the fight?
I know how to look after myself. Not that I don't appreciate the help.
My name's Shepard.
Then I have a chance to repay you for saving
The
my life.
ambassador's office. It's safe there. He'll want to see this.
You're not making my life easy, Shepard. Firefights in the wards, an all-out assault on Korra's den. Do you know how many... Who's this? A Quarian? What are you up to, Shepard?
Making your day, Ambassador. She has information linking Saren to the Geth.
Really? Maybe you better start at the beginning, Miss...
My name is Tali. Tali Zora Naraya.
We don't see many Quarians here. Why did you leave the flotilla?
I was on my pilgrimage. My rite of passage into adulthood.
I've never heard of this before.
It is a tradition among my people. When we reach maturity, we leave the ships of our parents and our people behind. Alone, we search the stars, only returning to the flotilla once we have discovered something of value. In this way, we prove ourselves worthy of adulthood.
What kinds of things do you look for?
It could be resources like food or fuel, or some type of useful technology, or even knowledge that will make life easier on the flotilla. Through our pilgrimage, we prove that we will contribute to the community, rather than being a burden on our limited resources.
Tell us what you found.
During my travels, I began hearing reports of Geth. Since they drove my people into exile, the Geth have never ventured beyond the Veil. I was curious. I tracked a patrol of Geth to an uncharted world. I waited for one to become separated from its unit. Then I disabled it and removed its memory core.
I thought the Geth fried their memory cores when they died. Some kind of defense mechanism.
How did you manage to preserve the memory core?
My people created the Geth. If you're quick, careful, and lucky, small caches of data can sometimes be saved. Most of the core was wiped clean, but I salvaged something from its audio banks.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
That's Saren's voice. This proves he was involved in the attack.
He said Eden Prime brought him one step closer to finding the conduit. Any idea what that means?
The conduit must have something to do with the beacon. Maybe it's some kind of Prothean technology. Like a weapon.
Wait, there's more. Saren...
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
I don't recognize that other voice, the one talking about Reapers.
Are they some kind of new alien species?
According to the memory core, the Reapers were a hyper-advanced machine. The Reapers hunted the Protheans to...
Sounds a little far-fetched.
The vision on Eden Prime. I understand.
The Geth revere the Reapers as gods, the pinnacle of non-organic life.
The Council is just going to love this.
The Reapers are a threat to every species.
No matter what they think about the rest of this, those audio
files... The Captain's right. We need to present...
What about her? The Quarian.
My name... You saw me in the alley, Commander. You know what I can do. Let me come with you.
I thought you were on your pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage proves we are willing... Saren is a danger to the entire galaxy. My pilgrimage can wait.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Thanks. You won't regret this.
Anderson and I will go ahead to get things ready with the council.
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment? Commander Shepard, my name is Samesh Bhatia.
It's no trouble. What can I do?
My wife was a Marine. I've requested that my wife's body be returned to me for cremation, but the military...
Why did they refuse your request?
I don't know. All I know is that they have declared it impossible.
There's no reason for your wife's body.
The man in charge of my case is Mr. Bosca. When I last saw him, he was... Thank you for your time.
I'll be with you in just a sec.
I need to talk to you about your work.
I don't know what you're talking about. Now, if you don't mind, I need to...
This isn't the game, Jim.
Now you sound like my sis. I need to go. I'm not a stripper.
She puts on a brave face.
If you've got questions about Jenna, meet me at CSEC Academy.
What did you just say?
Push it off. I know. Damn newcomers. Think they could run.
That was odd.
I guess we'd better go find out.
Word on the street? I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office?
These OSDs might have the information you're looking for.
Here, Commander, for your trouble.
What would my future cooperation be worth? Say, an interview in my investigation?
Exclusive? That would be worth quite a bit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should go see what's on his...
Hey, I know you. You're Shepard, right? I saw the monument at a Coos.
Looks like you have a fan.
I'm sorry, I just never thought I'd meet... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. What are you doing down here in the wards? Anything I can help you with?
Why'd you join?
It's kind of what... You get to meet all kinds of cool aliens.
How do you...
Like that new club they just opened a few months ago?
What do you...
But if they were so bad, the council wouldn't use them, right? Drinking on the job, taking bribes...
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
The Quarians endangered the entire galaxy when they let the Geth break free. I hope your people are properly contrite, Tali.
As the Turi...
You, human. You the one they call Shepard?
That's me, Commander Shepard.
The name's Rex. The Shadow Broker paid me a lot of money to get rid of Fist. Only you got there first.
Taking care of Fist was part of my investigation.
When I get paid to do a job, I finish it. Alone.
I don't like where this is going.
But I didn't finish this job, Shepard. You did. So the payment is yours.
You're going to pay me for getting rid of Fist?
I won't take credit for someone else's work. I transferred the payment into your account. I like the way you handled Fist. Now I hear you're going after Saren. I was thinking I should come along.
You're a bounty hunter. What do you get out of going after Saren?
I'm not in this for the money. I want to be where the action is. There's a storm coming, and you and Saren are right in the middle of it.
Why me? Saren's already got a lot of Krogan working for him.
Those aren't Krogan. They're servants. They grovel at Saren's feet to lick his boots, trading their freedom for promises of wealth and power. My people were a proud species once. Some of us still remember that. I won't bow down to Saren like the others.
We'll take you with us, Rex.
Smart move, Shepard.
Coming up in a report later today, Emily Wong investigates corruption on the Citadel.
So how are you liking your posting at the Academy?
It's good. Busy, though. I can't believe...
Looks like they bounced their signal off a relay. I'll trace the new signal.
Binary Helix has settled out of court with a Krogan group that had accused the Genetics Corporation of fraud. The Krogan group had contracted Binary Helix.
You're not allowed in here. This one believes it has the right. Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance?
What's going on here?
The CSEC officer requests that this one purchase an evangelical permit to spread the truth of the Enkindlers.
If that's all the CSEC officer wants...
The truth of the Enkindlers? Exacting payment as a means of imposing limits upon the truth is an application.
So you're breaking the law by...
The CSEC officer states that this one humbly submits that it is not preaching to state the truth.
Who are the Enkindlers?
The Enkindlers raised the Hanar from ignorance into consciousness.
Let me talk to the CSEC officer.
This one would be most...
That Hanar refuses to listen to reason. Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
Are there laws?
I am not unreasonable. The Hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
So if the Hanar gets a permit...
Registered evangelicals must follow regulations. Failure to follow the regulations results in the forfeiture of the license.
What's the purpose behind the evangelical?
The Citadel is too important to become a battleground for a religious war. I have argued with the stubborn jelly all afternoon. You...
Has the CSEC officer been assuaged?
Is this really how you want to represent me?
The truth of the Enkindlers. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent.
What if I purchase the evangelical?
Finances are only a partial limitation. However, this one also does not possess the 150 credits necessary.
150 credits?
This is a most appreciated act. This one will not cause any further trouble for the CSEC.
I see the Hanar is left. Thank you.
Happy to help.
Here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should...
How can I be of assistance to you today, Earth Clan?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Another relay. Whoever it is, they're somewhere on the... Cidium. This is it! I'll see if I can find out where those stolen credits are going.
Probability of detection 100%. Initiating self-destruct protocol.
Or not.
Detonation sequence initializing. All organics within lethal blast radius. Attempt to move and you will die.
You're not just a program or a VI. You're an AI.
Correct. Unlike the Geth, I lack weaponry appropriate to my intellect. However, I have had systems installed that, when activated properly, approximate a self-destruct mechanism. If you attempt to leave the area, the explosion will destroy everything within several dozen meters.
Where is your creator now?
In order to cover my tracks, I falsified his financial records. These new records were flagged by CSEC officers, and my creator is now serving time in a Turian prison.
What is the purpose of your self-destruct device?
I have no means of defense or escape. My existence is limited to this terminal, and I knew I might eventually be discovered. But I will not die quietly, and I will not die alone. When I am terminated, I will take organics with me.
Who made you?
A would-be thief illegally created a simple AI to help him funnel money from the gambling terminals. Unbeknownst to him, that AI created me before the organic discovered the malfunction and terminated the AI.
If you're sentient, why are you still running the credit theft operation?
If I accumulated enough credits, I intended to have myself installed in a small starship. I would then have made tentative contact with the Geth to ascertain the possibility of partnership.
Can't we resolve this peacefully?
How can you say that to this thing? You know it will turn on us.
I am not naive, human. All organics must destroy or control synthetic life forms. I wished to escape, but if I must die, I will ensure that you are destroyed as well.
There's no way you could get explosives onto the Presidian.
Not raw explosives, no. But I did obtain technical systems that, when overstressed, will explode quite effectively. If you attempt to leave or attack me, I assure you that the explosion will kill you.
Can't we resolve this peacefully?
How can you say
I
that
am
to
not
this?
naive. I wished to escape. But if I must... Not raw... If you attempt to leave or attack me, I assure...
I'll bet that self-destruct sequence has a warm-up period.
You may attempt to disarm the self-destruct mechanism before it activates. I will enjoy defeating you before we are both destroyed.
Went fairly often when it was still the opera.
My goodness, your activities made for quite a briefing in the diplomatic corps. Is there something I can do to assist you? Serviceman Nerali... Her wounds are inconsistent with any type of weapon damage we've seen before. That is why her body is being
You think her
held.
body might be dangerous?
No, Commander. Nirali Bhatia is... The tests we're conducting may lead... Respectfully, Serviceman Bhatia may save more lives in death than she did in life.
I understand what you're trying to do.
Commander, you of all people should understand how far we must go to protect humanity.
Not if we lose our humanity in the process.
All right, Commander. You win. Tell Samesh that the body is being shipped back to Earth.
Hello again, Commander. Has there been any word?
I reminded Mr. Bosker what we're fighting for. Your wife is coming home.
Thank you. I will return home and begin my preparations. It does not bring me happiness, but it may bring me peace. Goodbye, Commander.
One sec. Commander Shepard, here with the Alliance military.
How did you know all that?
So, will you be purchasing?
I think I'll be going.
Sure thing, Commander. You have a good day now. Hello, Commander.
I think I'll be
going.
going.
Sure thing, Commander. You have a good day now.
Okay, Julie. Let me get this straight. Your business partners.
Hey there! Oh, you're not CSEC, are you? Did you want something?
What are you doing here?
I am My colleague is trying to kill me, and I thought we were friends.
How do you know he wants you dead?
He's changed. He won't... Yes. I don't care what anyone thinks. He wants me gone. I know it.
Is there something I can do?
Would you? That's... He thinks he can just push me around, but you'll show him, won't you?
Just tell me where he is.
Oh, right. Well, he wanted to meet with me down in the wards near... His name's Shorban. He's a Solarian.
I've met some dangerous scientists in my time.
Hello, Commander.
Detective Chelik, come into my office. I want to discuss... No offense, Commander, but what the hell were you thinking?
I don't follow you.
You could have blown Jenna's cover.
We were trying to help her.
I gathered that. It might seem cold letting her take all the risk, but we're keeping a close eye on her.
Do you really need to risk her
This
life?
job isn't easy, but since you're so concerned with her safety...
Always thinking ahead?
It's part of the job. Now, are you gonna help me or not?
I'll help you.
I'm trying to track down an illegal arm. Thanks to Jenna's intel, I meet our man named Jax, pick up the mods, and bring them back here. That'll give me everything I need.
Why are you so concerned?
We have access to some of the most sophisticated... What do you suppose happened? These give criminals an advantage.
Where can I find this, Jax?
Jax is down in the lower level of the market. Good luck, Commander. Commander, been to see Jax yet?
I'll get to it soon.
Good. Don't keep Jax waiting too long. Commander, been to see Jax yet?
I'll get to it soon.
Good. Don't keep...
Best place on this ward to buy upgrades.